All right, it's Croc 36, and here we are. This is my 60 bid game versus Schultze. I've been hunting, so I gave him pictures, and then he was able to. So I went hunting last week with a friend in Massachusetts, um, and then got home to a dryer. And I told the kids not, or Sherry told the kids not to overload the dryer washing machine, and they broke the belt. So. All right. So what do we do? This was the situation. Let me just see if I can. Um, this is the situation at the end of round four. Excuse me. It's now round five. But this was a situation. Um, and I was going to try to take back Ukraine. Still a bit of a navy. This navy is not here. This one is not here. That's sometimes AAA is hard to manipulate. And I don't always understand. It'll tell you wait till the end of the turn to do something. But and this tank is not there either. Sorry. Um, I just try to jimmy stuff sometime. All right. So there's a mech, a Russian mech over here. And then the big move for the turn, I believe, was to move 18 infantry here. I wonder if you got that one Chinese guy. Anyways, we did do battle in Ukraine and was successful. Just so all right. So then you look at that and boom, and two, he misses, and I get a clean win. Does not happen often. So I'll take it. And then we move him back, and I do some math, and it looks good for me. I collect $33, but then I get spread of communism bonus for and end with $36. And that was spread of communism to Iraq. And we're hoping, of course, to spread communism to the Horn, Ethiopia, and Somaliland. Now, this is the situation at the end of the Japanese turn. Um, so he did attack and wipe them out. He was left with 8 infantry. So the total unit value loss was huge for me. But he's fairly depleted and he's in the wrong location. And I still have three of the money islands, Philippines and Malaya. So really positive outlook. And that's at the beginning of the turn. So my navy right there is poised like the sword of Damocles over his head with supporting aircraft here and a supporting hit points here in order to absorb those if he were to try to attack. So he is not going to do that. So let's see what the Americans do. Let's just make sure we buy two transports, one carrier, one sub, I think, one infantry, and three fighters. We are at war in round four. Let's see what this does. Some movement to 101, and a bunch of stuff moves from the coast 101 to 91. That's over here. And they go like here. All right, we have a fleet, American fleet in the Atlantic. Okay, and then I move everything to central, four bombers, and the bombers move to Yenisei. So I'm trying to support Moscow because you know what? And I play around with this for a little bit, and I decide whether or not I can attack this guy in a more But eventually, I end up with four bombers, and two. Those two fighters will be there at the end. I think I play with them a bit, and I did take a transport infantry. The planes are just too important for Moscow right now, um, and so I take some planes out. Well, when I take planes out, I've got to retreat my Navy back one space to the Aleutians. This transport eventually will end up in the Aleutians. And I attack, and yay, successful, but he gets a hit. Leaves me with a artillery there. Everything moves to Yakut. I think that's, yeah, Yakut, maybe. Uh, Everything moves on to Morocco over here, and I have a foothold place in 101. All right. And I consider what to do here because I really need to invest in the Atlantic and get some naval. So I decided to put two planes here, and they'll be scrambling fighters to go off the airbase there or land on the British carrier. Although the whole thing about not defending is it's kind of weird. And I do make some good money even with America, $77. So I'm making $36 with Russians, $77 with the Americans. So, and the Chinese still have the Burma Road. So 7 infantry go into China. Devastating loss last turn. I knew it was going to be. He had a huge fight in Quangxi and wiped out most of my Chinese guys. I hadn't had any losses, I don't think, till then. And then was able to direct his forces to J-Hole to take out the Russians. Well, now the Chinese are back, and I just do some simple stuff, nothing too. And we attack, and we are successful. But he gets my guy. So then we fly home. And where are we there? Quincy. Oh yeah, I did take a guy against. Um, okay, and an infantry lost. Chinese win. All right, I go back to Burma, and then we place 7 infantry. And I think I collect nine, $15. So $15 still round five. No, round four. This is round four. The actual round is five, but I'm reviewing round four. So $15 with the Chinese, $36, $77, $15. The British buy one carrier and two subs for the, um, and I still have Yunnan. One carrier, two subs for the European side, and then the UK Pacific side spends $3. 3 infantry, two mech. So there are some significant battles here. Um, I do lend some support, taking out Quincy, and I consider all sorts of stuff here, trying to figure out what to do. I want to block them up, but I also don't want to just throw away forces. Um, and I play around and decide on this. Man, what is she doing? Decide on this. Okay, so Kenya. I have three bombers and um, three bombers and one Ah, shucks. 3 bombers and 1 diver, and my enemy is defending with 1 infantry and 3 artillery. So I get 2 hits. Next, he gets 3 out of 4. So that's not great. A lot of money, $36 for the bombers, 35. So obviously I lose 2 bombers, one, but I want to keep going because I need one more hit so I can get the Russian expansion. And I miss with the bomber, and he gets 2 hits. So of his 6 dice he rolled, he got 5 hits out of 6, and I rolled 5 dice and I got 2. So there you go, negative $41. And again, all my dice miss in French Indochina. He gets a hit. This last turn he did Japan. I rolled 5 2s, got 0 hits, but he's constantly getting hits off me. So, okay, finally I do get the luck I need and kill him in French Indo. All right, and we move some stuff. Morocco, Szechuan, Morocco, and clean up, and then a place in 109. I want to show you what I was doing there. There is a convoy blockade that's lost. Where is this? Out of 98. He got a 4 and a 1. Collect $30, and then ends with 31 because I saved a buck, I think. Um, just want to check. Yep, saved $1. Okay, and then over here and here we place 3. We do some editing. Ends with $19. So $19 as in round 4. I mean, that is more than $10 up. Okay, and let's take a look at the board. Let me get you a little closer. Okay, so this was interesting here is I have a scrambling fighter and I have 2 subs. He has no destroyers. So I could lose the aircraft, take the hits on the aircraft carrier. He only has 2 firing. And then in addition to that, I could fire back with the subs, which I know only defended a 1, but they do hit ships. And then I've got the 4 and I've got the 2. So I figured that's both a great builder. So these can obviously project a lot of power. So that was the way to shift the game. On the other hand, the big movement this turn was to put 9 fighters here. I did not end up doing that. I put 7, and I put 2 fighters on this to protect this from the Italian bomber. Pretty valuable stuff there. I did also start these mechs off the Szechuan, which will make it to Kazakhstan, which will make it to Moscow in time for the Moscow attack. So right now, looking at this, we've got 9 fighters, and we've got 6 more that are headed to Moscow to even him up, since he can now produce at the Novgorod factory. Plus, these will arrive. So by the time these arrive, I want lots of planes in Moscow. And we skipped, of course, we did the ghost turn or the fog of war turn. We did buy a carrier for and a mech for Anzac. We moved everything up, and I'll show you Anzac and France. I don't think there was, oh, there was a battle for France, actually. I thought there was. Pretty sure, yeah. Nope, not this turn. All right, let me show you how it ended up. French cruiser came up here. That cruiser's been alive since the beginning of the game. Pretty cool. And then Anzac over here in Northwest Persia, French infantry. This dude's making his way, helping out. French destroyer is still alive from Madagascar, ready and willing to support the blocking moves. And then 3 Anzac fighters went here. So now our count is up. There should be 7 fighters there. Let's see where it goes. When did I realize my mistake? Right, there should be 7 fighters there. And there's 7. Oh, no, the 7 fighters are. No, 7 fighters in the Caucasus. That's right. They wanted to protect. So we got 7 fighters. We moved them, added 3 fighters here, and then 6 here. So 16 units coming toward Moscow. 17, and then these 2 will be able to make it by the time he reaches Moscow. He did move a blocking move here to Ethiopia. That's accurate. And then the Anzac, the Italians moved here, so he wouldn't be able to take over Tobruk for $3 more, and with the planes here as well. He did bring the tanks up to Karelia to defend against any Norwegian. And then the Germans, they moved their battleship here to 104 to be a blocker, as well as the cruiser. I've got lots of subs on the board right now, 4 subs. So that's brave, I guess, is one of the ways you could say it. He did bring a bunch here, so he has the potential of having, if you were to purchase 3 more here and 3 tanks here, 110. So he moves here and then builds again. So 110, around 110 pieces, and I think I can get 100 and almost 125. So that should be enough to blunt the pip advantage of the fighters. And hopefully we'll be able to shoot some down. All right, let me do the Russian turn that I did today. Not too much going on. Battle. Oh, shucks. Hate it when it does that. All right. Spoiled the whole thing. All right. So here we go. Edit. Okay. So we buy 1 anti-aircraft, 9 infantry, and 1 mech. That's going to provide an anti-aircraft dice on every one of these planes. I'm estimating he'll have about 14 planes by the time he's done. 4, maybe more. 4, 11, 16, 17, 18, 19. So I got to buy another one next turn. Another 2, maybe. So then we did combat moves. And let's see if we can shrink this a little bit. And we did that. And we also did down here, we invaded Italian Somaliland and Kenya. That'll be a $3 bonus. Okay, and then if I expand this, it'll cover up any combat that's spoiled. Bryansk, the battle for Bryansk. There we go. I get 1 hit. He gets 1 hit. And then I get 2 hits, and he gets no hits for Bryansk. I take Bryansk. And then the battle for Rostov, I'm coming in with 5. He has 2. I get 2 hits, and he gets 2 hits. Glad I brought the extra infantry. Didn't want to, but golly, with that stupid Kenyan battle. Thought I had to do a little bit more. Okay, 9 infantry, 1 anti-aircraft in Russia with a mech in Volgograd. That'll reach $27 plus spread of communism, $33 still. Okay, and just to show you what so this is where the Russians are at. Convoying here. Did I actually get a convoy off that? I don't know. Yes, I think I got $3. This money should be good, should be accurate. I actually don't know about the Japanese resources. Let's see if I can pump that up real quick. Japan. Japan 4, Japan 5. Yep. 42. $42. Okay, that's excellent. Anything sub 50 is excellent. Let's adjust that. Oops, show current game. Change resources. Take a look at the Japanese. I've got to gonna have to take a bit of a break here because I've got to study for presenting the Imperial Borders. I'm going to Dayton, Ohio for the conference, the Battlefield Dayton. And of course, Larry's going to be there, and Renegade will be represented, and Matt Hyra, I think. And so, anyways, I want to do a good job at teaching people how to play Imperial Borders and how to play War Room. So here's the Japanese. They did go into. No, this is not real. That's not real. I had gone into Manchuria, so that would be negate the Mongolian rule. So then he goes in here. He takes out my transport in 5. He moves and has a strong power base here. Purchases 5 tanks. I think he could only purchase 4, but thought he had $1 less than he thought. And then he did invade and take over Philippines. So, oh, by the way, so there's no naval base here, so you can't go 1, 2, and then 3. So the Palau guy has to stay there. Attacked with 3. I think you got 2 hits out of your infantry. So if you could roll 3 infantry, I want to roll that again. Because you got 2 hits with your infantry, and you had 3 out of 4. 3 instead of 4. Okay, so I don't think I can do much right now. It's 11:29. I got to be up in the morning to try to fix that dryer washing machine belt. But that is Allied 4 with many planes, Lend-Lease planes on their way. We have a strong continent down here. We're doing the Anaconda like he did last turn. Probably going to lose the Money Islands one by one, but there may be one less guy here. And then these American ships have got to get back into the game, or right back in. And I might want to consider buying some technology. He's got a bunch of tech. I don't have any, believe it or not, even though I have a 60 bid, because I felt so put to it with making sure I didn't lose Moscow. Calcutta, Egypt, London. So 60 bid doesn't go as far as you think it does. So good game, fun game. And this is Crack 36. And I am going to sign out. Ending this is Crack 36 for Allied Headquarters.